They stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Get there, get there. Woo! Yeah, baby, yeah.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Deuce right, Chief.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's got this down to the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Nigel Brown able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
808. 29. 29.
Watch out.
Now Carr. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage.
53's the mic. 53's the mic. I'm coming after you.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Tight end right, tight end right.
Hey, here we go. 7:34. Purdue.
Check.
Yeah, 98's down. 58-98.
Sponge. No.
808. Check.
To throw his car. Going deep here for Bryant.
I got you.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll start out on the ground with a Jai. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Hey, 74.
54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch out.
Play action. Now wins. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on second down. Now they got to come up with something big here on third.
Tight end's right.
Hey, 57.
Check.
On third and long, it's Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep for the Saints is Ted Ginn. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Crash down, crash. Run, run, run. That's it, baby. Four down. Check 37, check 37.
808. 637.
Carr to throw on second down. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Later 9.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Low. 29. 29.
53's Mike. Check.
Go. Get set.
In your face.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Michael Bannon in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Low.
Check nickel.
Hey, 734. 637.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Rasul Douglas picks it, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49.
3 down.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Von Bell up to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions,
Hang in there now.
I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Hey, we are.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Ajayi, first down and more. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So close, couldn't get all the way in, knocking on the doorstep down the one. Nevertheless, fantastic run.
Not only that, this is where you wave to your replacement, go back to the bench. No way. I'm not coming out of this game. I got it down to the 1-yard line. I want to carry it in.
We'll see if they reward him on this next play. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. Now Wentz will keep it. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's third down.
I know they didn't get it, but I kind of like the call.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz taking it in. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead.
Partner, that was simply an example of getting low, wasn't it?
It was indeed. And for the quarterback, so they get low the line. They did their job. Is the quarterback's job just to find a crease and dive?
Find a crease and just get in there. And ordinarily, you start low yourself, get low behind that offensive line. But sometimes they do such a great job, you can almost fall forward and find the crease for a touchdown.
Elliott now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll... abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
You got 4.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Come on now, come on now, let's go.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right.
List 5-7. Black, come on. Gold.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Strong right, strong right, strong right. Everyone's got movement.
Shit.
Watch the motion.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. He got 29 yards that time.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Here we go.
They run with Ajayi. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. I'm going to have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Sneaky guys. Watch out for 86.
This is Ajayi. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Check 13.
Gold. Get over there. Go.
Hey, you're on an island over there. Single.
Now Wentz on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Here we go. We're good.
3 down. Check 43.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
You got 56 there.
47 Mike.
White.
On second down, here's Carr. Dancing to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver line.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Gronkowski, the intended target. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Yeah, the Saints signal for another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
Tight end right.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Throw left side complete. It's Watkins. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Tight end's right. What's tight? Tight end's right. Hey.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it.
4 down. Check. 4 down.
Lion.
They run for it with a jive. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On first down, Wentz looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Lion.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Wentz now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
3 down. 44's the mic. They can't hang with us. Pop. Motion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here down to the 22. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Run.
Wentz. Flush to his right. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The Eagles on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Forced out to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
Great 15. Great 15.
Right. Move.
There we go. Back man. 120. Down the man inside. Down the man.
Shift. Watch the shift. Watch the edge.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So we come upon halftime. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset.
6-18.
But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
He's checking.
And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
All right, get set, fellas.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten.
808. 694.
Check hot route. Hot.
734.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. Flushed out right. And this is caught. It's pulled in by Gronkowski. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Play it, play it, play it, play it.
And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's their quarterback scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here. And Blitz coming, and down he goes. Demario Davis coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Wide open receiver complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A very solid gain of 27. Here's a giant. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They run again with a Johnny. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Go. 120. Hey, 74.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
Hey, Purdue!
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense.
Hey,
They've kept them in
7:34.
it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're
6:18.
one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. He'll rifle this one deep right. And got his man complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. A big play for the Saints on third down. 51 yards. So a slight improvement in field position, you might say, from inside their own 10 to this as they come up on first down.
29.
Carr now on first down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be a second down.
Watch Mike. Outside coming. Outside coming. We got three. Three down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
Hey, Raider 2.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
29.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
29.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, 30 yards. And the Saints are back within a score. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Let's go.
They'll begin the drive with a giant. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Wentz going to throw. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Back man. Lady.
Now it's Ajayi. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now Wentz, eluding the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Here's Wentz to throw. Aguilar has it. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
You got three down.
Here we go. 120.
44, Mike, 44.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Oh, here we go. Oh. Check.
Now it's him carry for Johnson. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Defense is always talking about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact. He's got a man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards.
24.
47.
Low.
On 1st down, Carr. And that's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time. And it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Purdue. 24. 694.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Yo, Chief. 734.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Johnson with a burst, 1st down or more. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. 18 yards there and a 1st down. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Carr going to throw. Being chased out left. This will be caught just inside the 10. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
694.
Shotgun now for Carr. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll run it with Johnson, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. David Johnson taking it in from a yard out, and the Saints have cut it back within a score. And this one through the uprights and good. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall, though. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Hang in there now. Great.
Tie left. 4 down.
From the gun, it's Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Move. Hey, we got 3 down. Check 3.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Watch left. Stop right there.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Side right here. Side on the right.
Yes, sir.
3 down. We got it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left. And then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this.
Come on now.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. Back man.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Go, go. Blue 80.
44's the mic. 44's the mic. We own them. We own them. 44's the mic. 44's mic. Check, check. Here we go, G.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game.
Tight end right.
Here we go.
And they'll run it here. Shreds the tackle. Still churning. So 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Tight end's right. What's tight? Tight end's right.
82. Great 15. Great 15.
Mike's 47. Mike's 47.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.